There are things we don't seek, but they find us. It's not by chance that you are here now, listening to this message. Maybe you can't exactly explain the reason, but your spirit has already understood. There is something inside you that is restless, that feels it is time. Time to stop hiding. Time to stop doubting. Time to remember who you truly are. You are not fragile, you are not strange, and you are not going crazy. You are waking up. And when the spirit awakens, everything changes. The things that once satisfied you no longer make sense. Conversations change. Companions drift away. The questions become deeper. And the emptiness you feel is not a lack of something earthly. It is a hunger for purpose. Perhaps you are in the midst of internal chaos, feeling that you have lost control, that nothing fits anymore. But what seems like an end is actually just the beginning. An old phase is closing, and God is repositioning you, not to be someone ordinary, but to assume what has always been inside you, the calling. Life did not prepare you for nothing. Every rejection, every silence, every sleepless night, every hidden tear was part of the formation. It is not punishment. It is construction. Because those who carry true light need to go through the dark, not to get lost, but to become a guide. And that sensitivity you have always tried to disguise. That way you feel everything more strongly. It is not a flaw. It is a mark of one who has been set apart. And now, the time has come to align with what heaven has already declared about you. Before continuing, I want to ask you something. If this message is touching something inside you, if you know this is for you, subscribe to the channel now. This is a place for those who feel, for those who know they were born for something greater, for those who are tired of running from what they carry. Join us because the next few minutes will not only touch you, they will remind you who you are. The mirror that reveals and burns. Have you noticed that, without saying a word, your presence disturbs some places? Have you realized how some people become uncomfortable just by being near you, even when you are silent? This is not arrogance or exaggeration. It happens because you carry light. And light, when it enters a dark environment, reveals everything that was hidden. Those who are chosen do not live to please. They live to illuminate. And not everyone is prepared for this. There are people who have built their entire lives on appearances. And when they encounter someone who is truly genuine, the facade begins to tremble. The masks start to slip. Not because you wanted to expose them, but because your essence does this on its own. You become a mirror, but not a common mirror. It is not one that merely shows what is on the outside. You are a mirror that reveals what is inside. You arrive, and suddenly people start to see themselves. They begin to feel shame for what they hide. They start to face what they have been avoiding. And this often generates resistance. Some will distance themselves from you. Others will try to belittle you. Some might even make up things to try to tarnish you. But understand, this has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what you provoke within them. When the truth enters, the lie loses space. When the fire ignites, the illusion melts away. God placed something in you that cannot be disguised. It is presence. It is not about beauty, fame, or pretty words. It is about what comes from within, what carries weight, what cleanses, what confronts, what transforms. You enter a place, and the environment changes, not because you tried, but because heaven accompanies you. And yes, this can be exhausting, because many times, all you wanted was to be at peace. You just wanted to be part of it, but you were called to be different. It is not you who is out of place. It is the place that cannot handle the truth you carry. And there is no way to hide that. Some people will love you at first sight. Others will avoid you for no reason. This is spiritual. Your light awakens what is dormant in others. And not everyone is ready to wake up. Some will follow you. Others will hate you. And both are reacting to the same thing: your truth. You are not responsible for the pain your presence causes those who live in falsehood. But you are responsible for not dimming your light. Don't change to fit in. Don't be silent to avoid disturbing. The chosen one was not called to conform to the world, but to break the molds. The truth you carry is not light, but it is necessary. And yes, it burns. It burns everything that is false. It burns pride. It burns vanity. It burns manipulation. That is why you have become dangerous to those who live by appearances. But at the same time, you become healing for those who are tired of pretending. So continue being that mirror. Continue carrying that fire in your eyes. Because the world does not need another person who repeats what everyone says. The world needs someone who, just by showing up, brings everything to the surface. The invisible war becomes visible. For a long time you thought it was just bad luck. You thought the closed doors were your fault. That people distanced themselves because something was wrong with you. You even tried to adjust, to change the way you spoke, acted, and felt. But nothing worked. And now you begin to understand. What attacked you wasn't you. It was the light you carry. There is a war that cannot be seen with the eyes. A silent battle that takes place in the spiritual realm. And those who are chosen feel this in their skin even before they know what they are facing. Things happen that you cannot explain. Relationships break for no reason. Dreams get stuck at the last minute. Strange situations arise out of nowhere. It's as if everything is trying to stop you. And it was. This resistance you faced was not a coincidence. It was opposition. The spiritual world knew who you were before you even knew it yourself. And that's why it tried to confuse you, to wear you out, to make you doubt your own identity. Because the plan was to neutralize you before you awakened. But you resisted. Even without understanding, you continued. Even in silence, you stood firm. Even while crying, you did not back down. And now, God is beginning to show you everything. He's opening your eyes. People who once seemed like friends, you now see clearly. Situations that seemed natural, you now realize were traps. You are starting to see beyond the surface. This clarity is part of your awakening. When God begins to lift you up, He also starts to show you. He exposes what was hidden, reveals intentions, removes veils. And this can hurt, yes, because sometimes those who hurt you were someone you loved. But it is necessary, because the calling that is upon you does not allow for alliances with deception anymore. Some people were placed in your life just to delay your growth. Others were raised to test you, to take you off focus, to distract you with false affection. But the time of blindness is over. Now it is time to see. And those who see, take a stand. Those who see change their path. Those who see do not return to the same place. This spiritual war was real. And the fact that you are here now, still with faith, still listening, still searching, is already proof that you have won. Many have fallen, many lost themselves in the process, but not you. You survived. And this was not luck, it was purpose. From here, you begin to walk with more awareness. You know who you are. You know what you carry. You know what you are facing. And more importantly, you know who guards you. Because while hell was moving against you, heaven had already decreed your victory. The resistance was just confirmation of your worth. Now, you are the one observing. You start to see who was really around you, who supported you and who just drained you, who prayed with you and who silently wished against you. And this vision is not meant to generate anger. It's meant to generate freedom. You no longer need to cling to what does not walk with you. The war is being won, but the battle has made you stronger, firmer, more alert. The chosen one who once walked without understanding now walks with discernment. And that changes everything. The frequency that breaks systems. There is something different about you. It's not just what you say. It's not just what you do. It's the energy you carry. Your presence stirs the environments. Where there is disorder, it disturbs. Where there is lies, it destabilizes. Where everything seems to be under control, it provokes discomfort. And it's not because you want confrontation. It's because your essence exposes what is out of place. Those who are set apart by God cannot fit into systems built on lies. You try to adapt, you try to be part of it, but there's always something that gets stuck. The truth is that you were not called to keep anything functioning as it is. You were raised to break through, to break the cycle, to provoke profound changes. And this naturally frightens those who feed off illusion. There are places that only function because no one questions. Relationships that continue only because everyone pretends. Environments that are sustained only because everyone accepts silently. And then you arrive, with your gaze that sees beyond, with your silence that carries weight, with your presence that presses on the invisible. You don't even need to say anything. Just being there is enough. The structure starts to shake. People reveal themselves as they truly are. Masks fall. Hidden emotions appear. All because your energy vibrates on another frequency. A frequency that does not wear down falsehood, control, or manipulation. Perhaps you have already noticed this. You enter a space and suddenly someone gets nervous for no reason. Another begins to act strangely. Or they try to control you, silence you, limit you. This is not personal. It's spiritual. Your presence activates what is hidden. And what is hidden feels uncomfortable with the light. You are not here to be controlled. You were not created to blindly follow orders. Your spirit was born to hear direction from above, not from corrupted systems. That's why everything that tries to hold you back will eventually begin to break. You are like a warning. Either things change, or they will crumble. Being this interruption hurts. It tires you. Sometimes, it makes you feel alone. Because while many are comfortable in the old structures, you are being called to live something new. And the new begins with rupture, with courage, with obedience to what heaven is saying, even when the earth does not understand. That's why you don't fit into places that sell spirituality but live by appearances. In groups that talk about love but practice control. In paths that promise healing but cultivate ego. You feel when the environment is wrong, even if everything seems beautiful on the outside. And this makes you a threat to those who live by facade. But don't let this discomfort silence you. You were not raised to mix in. You were called to rupture, to cleanse, to open new paths where no one has the courage to step. Your energy is not rebellion, it is direction. Your truth is not arrogance, it is mission. You are a piece that does not fit in just any board, because you were not made to be manipulated. You were made to be guided by something greater, by something pure, by something eternal. And when you remain firm, even in the face of resistance, everything begins to change. The structures collapse, the truth prevails, and those who are ready to awaken will awaken. The point of temporal restart. There are moments in life when it feels like everything repeats. You look back and see the same mistakes happening in cycles, the same pains, the same patterns, the same reactions. Sometimes they aren't even yours. They come from your family, your history, from things you haven't even lived, but feel as if they were yours. This is not imagination. It is spiritual reality. There are invisible inheritances that pass from generation to generation. Wounds that have never been healed. Addictions that repeat. Words spoken decades ago that continue to echo. And when God raises up a chosen one, it is to break free from this. To be the final point of a story that has hurt too much. You are not here to continue what went wrong. You are called to interrupt, to change course, to close old doors and open new paths. That is why many times you feel disconnected from your origin. It is because the calling upon you did not come to repeat. It came to renew. Some things in your life seemed more difficult not because you are weak, but because the weight you carry is great. You are paying the price for cutting off unhealthy roots, for no longer accepting what everyone accepted, for deciding not to hide, not to sweep things under the rug. You are the restart, the point where the story changes, where traumas stop repeating, where the pain is no longer passed on, where the curse is broken, not with a shout, but with awareness, with choices, with actions different from those that have always been taken. This demands a lot from you. It requires the courage to say enough. It requires the faith to walk without a model, because no one taught you to live without fear, without guilt, without weight. But even without a reference, you know what needs to be done. You feel it. Your soul has already understood. And little by little, things start to change. What once bound you no longer holds you. What once hurt you no longer has the same power. Because something inside you decided not to carry what is not yours any longer. And that changes everything. You may not see it yet, but it has already begun. The story is being rewritten, starting with you. And that is already enough to break everything that once seemed eternal. You are not late. You are at the right point of the turnaround. There is something inside you that always knew. Even without an explanation, you felt that you were not like everyone else. Since you were young, it seemed like there was something different, a restlessness in your chest, a search that never ended. And for a long time, you tried to fit in, tried to forget. But now the time has come to remember. It's not about remembering what others told you. It's about remembering what is stored inside you, in your spirit. Because what you have been feeling lately, this calling, this desire to change, this discomfort with the world around you, didn't come from nowhere. This is a sign that your spiritual memory is being awakened. It's not about childhood memories or events from your life here. It's deeper. It's as if your soul is returning to a place it was never meant to leave. A place of purpose, of identity, of truth. A place where you know exactly who you are. You start to remember what you were born to do. You begin to realize that certain talents, certain dreams, certain discomforts have always been part of your original design. They were there, but asleep. And now, something is bringing everything to the surface. This remembrance doesn't come as a clear image, but as a silent certainty. You can't explain it, but you know there is something you need to fulfill. A path you need to follow. A mission you need to live. And this doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. From the truest place that exists in you. Maybe the world has tried to tell you that you were not capable, that you were too sensitive, that you lacked structure. But now, the truth is beginning to shout from within. And what was once doubt is turning into conviction. You are remembering what you have always been. And with this remembrance comes a new strength. Because when you understand who you are, you stop accepting anything. You stop selling yourself for crumbs. You stop being silent to please. Because the awakened spirit does not go back to sleep. From this point on, you begin to walk with more firmness. Not because everything is resolved, but because now you know where you are going. You remember who you are. And that changes everything. There comes a time when you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. Your existence becomes the answer. The way you continue, even after everything, is already a testimony. The people who tried to bring you down now look at you and don't understand how you are still standing. And this, without you saying a word, is already the judgment. God did not take vengeance on you with shouts. He lifted you up in silence. And that is what bothers the most, because your healing shows the wound of those who hurt you. Your peace reveals the chaos of those who tried to sabotage you. Your light exposes how much others were in darkness. You don't need to justify yourself, explain, or respond to those who judged you before. Your transformation speaks for you. The shine in your eyes, the calm in your actions, the firmness in your decisions. All of this is proof. Proof that what was meant to destroy you became a step. That what was meant to paralyze you became a thrust. Some people will avoid you, not out of anger, but out of shame. Because now they see what you have always been, and they realize how wrong they were about you. And that's okay. This is not about humiliating anyone. It's about making it clear that those who walk with God do not need to defend themselves. They just need to follow. Your silent growth is making it clear who was right. Your resistance, your truth, your journey, all of this is being seen. You have become a mirror for those who did not want to face themselves. And this creates discomfort. Because, deep down, what irritated them the most about your steps was what they knew they would never have the courage to live. The way you treated those who hurt you. This is the sentence. Because the forgiveness you released was healing for you, and judgment for those who thought they would go unpunished. God does not work with gratuitous exposure. He works with processes. And those who harmed you now watch from afar what you have become. You are the proof that truth prevails, that light endures, that silence is also an answer. The judgment did not come in words. It came in fruits. It came in your new beginning. It came in your integrity. And from now on, anyone who wants to speak about you will have to face your peace. They will have to deal with the reality that what was meant to go wrong flourished. After all that you have lived, understand this clearly. The access to your life is now sacred. No longer can just anyone, any conversation, or any energy come in. What you once allowed out of lack, today you recognize as distraction. What you once called connection, today you understand was draining. God allowed you to go through situations that wore you out, not to punish you, but to show you how much you needed to learn to protect yourself. Now, your soul no longer accepts what comes without truth. Your energy no longer opens up to what is superficial. The presence of God in you has become a spiritual requirement, and anyone who wants to walk alongside you will need to be clean, aligned, pure in intentions. This is not arrogance, it's spiritual maturity. What you carry is too valuable to continue being delivered without criteria. You are not distant. You are being preserved. You are not selective. You are being guided. Those who want to be close will need to earn it. They will need to show fruit, not just words. They will need to walk with truth, not with interest. They will need to give, and not just take. Because now the chosen one understands that energy is a seed. And where it is wrongly planted, there is no good harvest. It is now time to keep the field clean, to listen more to your intuition, to not negotiate what heaven has entrusted to you, to choose wisely where you step, with whom you walk, and where you rest your soul. Because what was once an easy target has now become a fortress. And if there was still any doubt, the moment has come to accept what is already reality. You are not becoming, you already are. This journey did not start today. It has simply reached the point of revelation. Every resistance you faced was proof of how much you carry. Every hidden tear, every silent battle, every feeling of being different. All of this was just a sign that there was a calling screaming inside. And now, this calling is being fulfilled. You are the mirror that reveals, the breaking point that shakes the system, the restart of an entire lineage, the living memory of a purpose forgotten by many, the healing in the form of presence, the living sentence for those who doubted, the filter that separates the shallow from the true, the portal to a new time. There is no turning back. There is no more space for pretense. There is no more time for distraction. What you are now can no longer be hidden, erased, or stopped. Heaven recognizes you. And when heaven recognizes, earth adjusts. If you felt this inside you, then you know. It's not theory. It's confirmation. Something is already moving. And now I want to ask you, share here in the comments what you felt while watching this. Tell me at what point your spirit awakened. Tell me what truth found you today. What moved you? And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. This channel is more than content. It is a calling. It is a meeting. It is direction for those who have been set apart by God to live something the world does not understand. But heaven has already confirmed. Welcome. You are chosen.